Call the meeting to order, 6 o'clock. Let's see here. Take a motion to approve the minutes for January 2nd and January 6th.
So moved.
I second. Any changes or anything you see that needs to be added? No.
I don't see anything.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the minutes for January 2nd and January 6th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjustments to the agenda, anything we need to add? Do you know, Carrie, anything?
No.
No.
You want an IT report?
Yeah, if you've got one, yeah, I'll add that on there.
I see I got phone.
What's that?
I see I got phone.
Yeah. Are you Are you offended? Okay. Buckaroos of 302 request to use the highway garage for February 8th event, Dick Page ride-in. You want anything on that, Gary?
No, it's kind of a standard procedure I go through.
Yeah.
The writing is, as usual, the 8th, second Saturday in February. Would like to, I've already talked to Harold, but I always come to the select board, ask permission to use it. As usual, nothing's different. And I will get the insurance certificate sent out from Bass, as always. I just like to make sure I go through the normal process and not assume.
All right, I make the motion to allow the Buckaroos to use the highway garage for February 8th.
Second?
Oh. Huh?
February 8th.
Yeah, that's what I said. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Town meeting warning.
That's the copy I gave you. We have those few additions. The cemetery would like to use some money that was put aside for the Riverside Cemetery that comes out of when somebody purchases a plot, they pay, a non-resident pays a higher fee, and that extra fee goes into a separate bank account to be used for the development of the Riverside Cemetery. That they would like to use it to do the cremation bank between the old cemetery and the new cemetery down, the regular cemeteries here, which they had cleared out this summer. So they would like to ask the taxpayers for permission to do that, so.
That's gonna be on the warning then.
So yeah, it was Article 5.
Okay.
And then we have the collector of delinquent taxes to go from elected to appointed is on there for Article 4. And Article 6 was where we had the guidance of if a new appropriation request comes in from a petitioned, it's not just you guys putting on an article like these ones.
Mm-hmm.
If they put on a petition, then I was informed it should be a separate article on its own on the warning. So that's.
And then after that,
After that, it's just in there every year like the other ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So those two are in there. The closing those two reserves that aren't really used anymore and putting that money into the emergency fund, the town emergency fund, which saved raising taxes to do that this year again, is Article 7. And then just the typical articles that need to be in: the election of some of the officials, the property taxes. If you don't specify a date, then taxes are due 30 days from when you receive them. So we always specify a date. And then the budget and the open one at the end.
Now, what Mike talked to us about today, Mike Geis asked if he could have like a video about the broadband thing,
Okay.
because he's not gonna be here with info,
Mhm.
that if he could play it. And we were talking that it would be like at the end of the.
Yes, Article 9 is to discuss any other business that doesn't include spending money for the town or stuff we already talked about. So I think that would be a good spot.
And he'd have Dennis Casey here running the video and then available for questions, because Mike's not gonna be in
I think
town.
I think it's Martin Klein.
I mean Martin
Yeah.
Klein, not Dennis Casey, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sound
Makes
good
sense.
to you?
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
makes sense.
So,
Yep, I think we can maybe let it be open for if anyone wants to speak, and then just do that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if someone else wants to say, you know, anyone in the town wants to talk during that time, and then we'll just
play that,
play the video.
okay, good.
So we can do that at the end, but you can sign this final copy.
Okay.
Okay.
Hiring temporary employee for the highway. Harold, do you wanna speak on that?
One applicant, just one, Harlan, just one. So he has worked for us before. I think we hired him last January to be exact. Said he'd only give it a try again.
Willing to give it a try again? Did it not work out the first time?
He had a lot going on in his life
Okay.
that he had to give up something, and we had another tenant doing it, so he felt this was a good thing to give up at the time.
And you're good with them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he's got his own plow route, you know, his own truck plows with, and so should be fine.
And this is Stephen Batchelor.
But he'll be using the town's truck.
Yes. So, but I was just thinking that he had experience.
I make a motion that we approve the hiring of Stephen Batchelor as a temp for the highway department.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Budget, Carrie?
So I didn't give you the new ones, it's the same one from, I had in your boxes.
Yeah.
Turns out with the 3.8% increase. So that's with the changes that you came up with at the last meeting. And that's with removing the 5,000 that we would have been raising in taxes to put into that town emergency fund, which we're now hoping the town votes to move those, to close those two reserves out to move into there. So that helped bring it down. So the amount to raise in taxes with those adjustments are 75,832. It's a little change, I think, from the last sheet I gave you. There's a couple little things. So that's where we're ended.
That's a pretty modest increase, considering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very modest considering inflation.
So that's what we'll get, you know, we've been working on the town report and getting the spreadsheets and the budgets in, how we ended the year, how next year will be, the revenues and all the work that goes with that. So that has to go to the printer on Thursday of next week, the 23rd. So we have a few more days left for reports from any of the other departments. So whatever we don't receive by then is not in there.
Now, when did Lisa say those were, you needed them by? January 15th?
Yeah,
Which
sooner
is
rather than later. You know, we'll be working on it all next week too, but
So you don't foresee any changes to this before
I
town
don't-
meeting? We can go ahead and make a motion and vote on this right now, or?
yep. I mean, that's what's Wednesday or Thursday is gonna go into the town report, so there's really
Can't change
not an
it at
easy
that
way to
point.
change it after that, so. I mean,
Let's add another 20 grand in my budget just for.
Hey, Harold, you wanna stand up in front of the camera and say that?
you can stand up at town meeting and ask. I mean, things can get, if something desperate was there, it can just get adjusted at town meeting. You know, whatever the warning says, you know, you can adjust it.
Budget's just a guideline anyway.
Move this one.
Just suggested.
Guess I'm not moving everything here.
Alright, so,
1,245.
That way just for
no, that's 24.
Oh, right. Right. 292.
Do we have to do it in separate? Do we have to do the general and or do we do it as one?
No, you can do it together.
Okay.
Budget as written.
Okay. So I make a motion to accept the budget for 2025 at $1,292,830.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Carrie.
I was just gonna say one more thing about the town report. I know sometimes, some years there's talk, I don't know what the word is talk, but there's discussion about the timing and everything, and, you know, I try to make it clear that our year has to end for a calendar year, so you're talking January 2nd, and all this work has to happen by January 23rd. That nobody's holding back on getting the town report out to the town or anything like that, that there's procedures, and printer has a timeline for us, and we gotta get it to them by a certain date, and then they have to take time to do all their work and get it out by the 10 days before town meeting. So I know sometimes people think the town is, you know, trying to sneak something by, but that's the procedure, and not much you can do about it, and really,
No.
it's a short amount of time to get all that work done of, you know, for one, ending the year, reconciling the 19 bank statements and putting that all into the system, and then making these spreadsheets and compiling all the other reports that come with it, and waiting for reports from people, and, you know, it's probably, I would say, the busiest time of year for us is from January 2nd to the due date of the town report.
And that's on top of all your regular
Yeah.
daily normal duties.
Right.
Yeah.
So it, you know, we get it done and it's fine, but I know, you know, someone might like to nitpick stuff, and,
They're gonna anyway.
yeah. And again, the town report is not, you know, if something wasn't in it, other than, like we were saying, the budget and balance sheet type stuff, everything else is just added information for the town, nothing else is required. The other, you know, 78 pages are just information, and if something was missing, then it's missing. It's not a statute or a law that was broken, it was just not put in. I think people think of the whole book as being, it has to be this way, and it has to be, you know, the exact things in it, but it's really the balance sheet and the budgets to get to the people, and the rest is extra.
Lisa's got something on here about January 15th, have to have write-ups and in for the reports. You
Right,
know.
so that's the deadline I think she gave, was today, because sometimes we get reports and then we have to change them into the format that works for the printing company of the town, what we send to them. So that, you know, takes another bit of time to do that as well.
Do you know if you've gotten a majority of them?
I wouldn't say the majority, but a chunk of them. So,
I put one in today.
Everyone that's interested in having one in there has it in.
right.
Okay, IT report, Gary?
I don't remember the last time I updated you on things, but I'll take a guess. I finished up a project end of the summer at the library. She had waited a long time for me to return there to wrap up a wireless project
there with her husband. That's complete. She does want me to move a router and wrap up some wiring. I've not been back to do that. It's no money involved. I just gotta move stuff around, hide it. I need to go back there at some point. But my snowmobile season interrupted that. We ordered 3 new computers and a camera system for here. I've installed the laptop for the highway department. That took a couple days of work to get that done. But it's done and no issues yet. We'll see. It seems to be going good. We got 2 more for here. I originally thought we would install it as a Lister computer, but now with just that position being open, I think I'll use it as the second computer in the treasurer's office, which is used for the banking, instead, till a decision is made on the Lister position. That was John's computer. And then the other one is for what we call the server. Nimerick is on that, and I dread doing that. And I am going to procrastinate on that quite a bit, because I think it just is a lot of work to do it, to get everything tied back into it. I'll have to work with Nimerick, get their help to move that over to that. I just remember when I did it the first time, it was quite a bit of work. So those are upcoming projects, and then I have to, the camera system, I have to get together with Steve, your handyman, about placing those outside of the building and setting up that system. So those are my to-dos going on. I think the new computers that we put in for the town clerk and the treasurer and Lister have been working well. Gotten only a few minor quirks in the beginning. I think they've been working well. The old ones were approximately 10 years old, and they were time to go because they were causing problems. And I think that's it.
All right, thank you. Highway, Harold?
So, I know you got the email, Tom, I don't know if you did, Bobby, about the money I had to spend last week for Springs. Just so you guys know, the Springs on Phillips truck were bad, really bad. I knew there was a couple broken ones I looked at, I said, we can't even drive that truck anymore. So they had them in stock over in Barry, so I went and got them. We've got the broken one fixed. I haven't got the other one in yet because it just keeps snowing every day. So that was $1,500. We just shot at $1,500. And I'm here to get permission to spend some more money. So we got a new truck. I want to put carbides on it, on the blade for cutting edges, because they last probably 2 years. We haven't tried it on a small plow. So we put a set of cutting edges on our old plow a month ago, and they wore out already. And that was almost $550. So a set of carbides for that, $1,753, which is a lot of money. But we get 2 years compared to a month. Don't take many cents to pay for it. And my 10-wheeler needs new cutting edges also. So we're looking at $54.22 in cutting edges for the 2 trucks. So I'm a little over my spending limit, so I need permission to spend money.
Carrie, where we
Well, you're just use it in your
Yeah.
regular budget,
Maintenance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, it's over the amount that he's gotta get the pre-approval, is what you're
Right,
saying?
yeah. I mean, I can spend $1,000.
So you've got the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Well,
thought
once
that you
the town
were-
approves it, I have the money.
Okay, gotcha, all right,
I mean, it's in the budget, it's just,
all right,
but it's over my spending limit, so I need pre-approval to,
okay, all right.
it's not an emergency per se.
So you'll just have it on a PO and then they'll
Yeah,
sign off on
yeah.
it?
Okay.
But I just need permission to spend it.
PO policy.
Yeah, there you go, that's the words.
So just get that, he's just gonna have to fill out the PO and we just sign off on it.
Right.
Yeah, that's not, that doesn't require a motion if he's doing a PO, correct? Yeah. So, yeah.
That's all here.
Thank you. Lisa sent in what she had. Guess there's nothing more than what we've already talked about here.
Yeah, I'll just say she did the end of year, like, everyone got their W-2s and the stuff that has to go to the state, the 1099s and all that, so that's
All
all
done.
done, yep. And then town report, basically, is what.
Okay. Dorothy, assessor?
I'm gonna jump in before you skip me, town clerk, but,
Oh, geez, sorry.
it's okay. We just received an email about new laws that's passed for January 1st, and it's ethics training that everyone basically in the town is gonna have to do, works for the town. So I am gonna send an email to everyone that this is for, which is basically everybody who's elected to something, or, well, maybe it's not Philip, but it's everybody else. Planning commission, assessor, clerk, highway, all the department heads, tax collection, and the legislative body. So it's gonna be a link for you to go in and do this training. They're saying it takes 45 minutes, and when you're done, you get a thing saying that you did it, and goes in, I guess, maybe send it to me or something, and I'll print them out and put them in the file. The other thing that we'll probably do, I don't know if we need to do it now, we can do it when we appoint everybody in March. Actually, I think you're gonna have to do it right now. So it's, municipalities are required to appoint an ethics liaison to serve as point of contact for communications with the State Ethics Commission. So I would say we can't really wait till March, because they're saying to go in and send the name and email information and everything to them, like, as soon as possible.
Okay, so we've got to come up with a name for that.
Yep.
Can we put it on our next meeting's agenda, or do we have to do it tonight?
I would honestly just say to appoint me to do it,
Okay.
and
Yeah, you're
we'll
welcome.
just move on, since it's all gonna probably funnel in to me anyway, and be in the office or being filed away in people's files or whatever.
Okay.
So, they didn't, not a lot of detail on, I mean, I think it's basically just the name and email information, so they can send if anyone's missing anything or they need to get a hold of anybody, so I would be willing to do that, and then and everyone does have like 6 months to do this training. So that'll be explained. I don't even want to say that because everyone's going to put it off.
Yeah. All right, I make the motion to appoint Carrie as the ethics liaison contact
To the state of Vermont.
for the state of Vermont.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So be looking for that fun email. And I think we talked about basically everything else we've been doing. I guess we have, I was thinking Larry would talk about that watershed grant for the river that the town did receive. A small amount of money, has to have a match of around $12,000, so I didn't know if anyone had any more thoughts on that, or can let it simmer a little longer. The state has approved $49,375 with our share, sponsor share, or whatever you want to think of it as. $12,343.75 would be the 25% that they won't cover. And that was to remove debris and sediment from 250 feet, it says, of the channel, which I'm assuming is the river.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So just to keep that in everyone's
Probably would be a
minds.
good idea to hold that one till Larry's here, so all three of us can talk about it.
Yeah. Could be when you do like a meeting without all the updates too.
Yeah, yeah, that would be good, yeah.
And that's up by bills, right?
Yeah. Yep. That was it.
Okay. Dorothy?
I guess the only thing I had was that just Barb and I both wanted to thank you for meeting with us yesterday and thought it was a good exchange of information and, other than that, just business as usual.
No, that was good. It was very informative. Dan?
Okay, I got a couple different things. One, I need you folks to be thinking of a new health officer, because as it stands right now in the state, I can't be constable and health officer at the same time. So if we don't find one, then it falls on the chairman of the select board. That's one thing. And the other thing is,
Well, Larry's not here, so we aren't gonna worry about it.
There you go, I can see there,
I'm good with that. From March, when I was appointed or elected as constable, until December, I handled about 172 different calls, and 90% of them or 95% of them were dog calls. So this year you incorporated both items into one thing, animal control and constable into one thing, which was a good idea. Going along with that now, I've been in touch with the Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns on being able to write municipal tickets, because we had, 120 dogs that we could not get licensed, that we knew people owned, but they just refused to pay. So these municipal tickets will bring money into the town, through fines or whatever, if they keep refusing to license their dogs. Or other things, such as cows continually getting off one person's property, going over, destroying property on another person's property. So this, I wanted to give this to you. This is just the beginning of it. Now, Carrie is already listed as a personal contact for the money and things that comes in from the fines. What we have to do is come up with, this can go to Larry, come up with a policy and procedure for each individual, so everything stays the same through each one. And we've got a pretty good system now with our dog ordinance, but we have to send them a copy of it and things, and I'd like to get this done before March if possible, because we're going to start having dog registrations again. With the increase in fees, I can't see people being better about it rather than worse about it. And it's a substantial problem due to the fact that we do have rabies here. And so you don't know if the dog has had its rabies shot or not. And those approximately 120 animals are just the ones we know of. We know there are other people that have dogs that have never registered them, which I wasn't allowed to take and do anything about by state law, because under state law, if they don't come off the property, I can't catch them. So therefore I can't have them licensed. With this, I can go directly to the person and tell them, okay, this is what we're going to do. If you refuse to license your dog, now you're going to go to court. I would represent the town. It's pretty straightforward with our dog ordinance, what the process is, but we do need a process and procedure for that.
Do you have any, does like the state have any procedures that they, I mean, lots of times, you've got one all right here.
Yes,
Okay.
It's all right here, and we already have the municipal tickets.
Mhm.
The only thing that I have to have from you folks is a letter from the select board naming me as a person to write the tickets. And then we incorporate Carrie's name back in as a contact person. We have to send them a copy of the policy and procedure and also a copy of our animal ordinance. And then we can do that.
So you basically got everything that you would need here. We just need to read through it and see if we need to tweak it at all.
Right, right. Yeah.
Harley, can you put that on the next agenda for part of the working session to go over this policy?
Yep.
Is that soon enough?
Yeah, that's fine. I guess we certainly want it in place because, once again, the fees have gone up again this year. along with everything else, so. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Fire and fast, I guess nobody's here for that. Update on any ongoing grants? Did you have anything on that, Carrie?
I have, the MRF is slowly being looked at, you know, Dennis Casey is very much involved. There's a Zoom webinar tomorrow about some of that I know he's doing. I don't know that I will go on to that. I did read today that it's being recorded and then on their site, and I can just click on it later at a better time than right now and watch that. It was going over I think it was the historical aspect of what has to be checked before work is done and all that. So that's moving along. You know, the drainage, all that's on hold, so nearly for the grants. FEMA is, I have to put them a little bit on hold while we get through the town report, but I have another meeting next week. So we have 2 roads sent on all the oddball properties, so we're down to 9 roads. If the town report starts getting, looking like it's okay, I might take a day next week and just do the FEMA stuff before the meeting. Or I might email the guy and ask to push our meeting out 1 more week. So I have time enough to have something to talk about or send them for the meeting.
Good. Open to the public, any other business? No? Orders are signed. Items for next select board meeting. Next select board meeting, Harley, we would not have reports.
We have some no department.
No department reports unless there's something that comes up that somebody needs to report on, so we'll have kind of a working meeting on this policy for next
Did you
meeting.
have an update on the speed signs?
Oh, yeah, there's going to be a speed study done in the spring. I contacted the lady in the state, I can't recall her name. She emailed me a bunch of information too this week, all the stuff that I need to do to take care of it. And they're gonna come do the speed study. They want the sign to be within the zone rather than where the signs are, because they want to be responsible for the speed signs if something happens to them. So we'll have them at least a couple 100 feet in beyond the 30-mile-an-hour signs on each end of the town, where it makes the most sense. You know, it doesn't have to be exact 200 feet, but, and so that, as long as the speed study goes the way we think it will, we should be able to put those up, as long as we follow all their procedures to get
So we need
things
to know
in.
when it is, so a bunch of us can get together right back and forth really fast.
Which way you wanted to go?
I know that the deputy sheriff has been out here running radar for us, is collecting a lot of people.
Yeah,
Today she had 3, I think, over 15, 2 over 20.
oh, yeah.
And that's with her hitting the lights when they're by Emil's Bar. They don't even slow down. They drive right by it. It's-
Yeah, we get a thing every month when the town gets that little portion of money, and it doesn't say people's names, but it'll say like what their speed was, and somebody was 68 miles an hour in the 30.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, oh my gosh,
Then they had done that.
That fine would hurt.
yeah.
I did want to add one thing to the constable deal. We just finished being involved in the lawsuit up to Groton Pond, and the town has no culpability in it at all. It is finished and taken care of. That happened yesterday.
Good. Good. Was that over the, putting stuff in a right of way?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, I saw that was taken care of.
Yep.
That's good.
All right. Anything else, Bobby?
So what did we say was on the next meeting, was no updates, the ticket procedure, And then it should be, by February 5th, it'll be
Yeah, and then
budget
anybody,
and
then
warning.
anybody if, on the reports, if they have something that they really need
Mhm.
to bring forward, let us know so we can get it on the agenda beforehand.
Hopefully I don't have to spend any more money in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's 3 weeks that I'm meeting.
Is it? Ooh, geez, that point.
All right, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.